Let's face it, we suck at staying in shape.
But this year, we're going to get our bodies
And our minds into a better place.
Join us on our journey to wellness.
And no matter what happens,
We'll see you in health.
All right, Scott, it is week 1 of our eating challenge.
Challenge number 2.
We did push-ups, and now it is all about eating. How did your first week go so far?
So I started off strong. I went to the grocery store, bought all of the foods. I made 2/3 of my meals, prepped, ready to go. Had a good breakfast, had a good lunch. Dinner rolled around on a day that I was attending a funeral.
Got it.
I had some food that was outside of my regular plan.
The body of our Lord.
And then, so breakfast had an egg wrap. Lunch had some chicken, potatoes, and broccoli. And dinner, the body of Christ.
Keeping it light.
Exactly. Gluten-free. I hung out with a buddy, and so around dinner time, instead of bringing my meal with me, we went to a brewery, and they had a food truck there. So I had a egg wrap for breakfast, chicken, broccoli, potato for lunch, and a vanilla cream churro and 2 sodas for dinner.
That also sounds like the body of Christ.
Do
you want my vanilla cream churro? Okay, so far, your first week has been a little rough.
It's like 2/3 good.
Yep.
And we're just not hitting the dinner right now, but it's a challenge, you know? It's not like a promise. It's not like a given. It's something where I have to like get used to it.
Right.
And yes, everybody who's listening at home, I am failing the challenge right now. I realize this, but I am not perfect. I didn't expect myself to be perfect. I haven't done this in maybe 10 years where I've had the same meal every single day. So it's not easy, but I'm going to go easy on myself. John Bon Jovi said halfway there.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, I think that's good.
This is my prayer. Cut me a little slack.
You've been cut, not in a good way. Listen, I had the same but opposite start to my week. Same meaning it was a struggle. Meaning like I probably got about 2/3 or I Bon Jovi'd it. But mine was bad because Scott, I went to the day before we started this challenge.
McDonald's.
I was going to go to lunch.
Yep. The 1/3 was McDonald's, wasn't it?
No. I went to Chipotle. And my Chipotle order is pretty
okay.
mellow. It's chicken and rice.
Yes.
And like the hot salsa.
Uh-huh.
That was the most painful time I've had on the toilet in a while. And then by that evening, I didn't want to eat anything. The next day, same experience. I was just struggling body-wise to eat things. It just felt so gross.
You're doing this all wrong. You have to wait till the very end of the challenge to get the stomach flu, so then you can hit your goal weight.
Got it. Start the challenge, food in mouth. Mm-hmm. Finish the challenge. Got it.
There you go. And then the worms just eat the rest for you.
Now, I will say, in the last week, I was able to lose 2 pounds because of this.
I'm going to make you prove that here in a second.
Okay.
My last week was 3 whole American pounds. I don't know how many British stones that is, but I know it was a big decline.
You lost 3 pounds last week, even eating the body of Christ?
And a cream-filled churro.
Oh my God. He does work miracles.
Which you could argue. A lot of people eat those at church. Maybe unwillingly.
Oh, it's usually kids. Nope. All right. So tell me as like, before we look at this, like in body analysis, I want to know how have you felt going to the gym? This is maybe week 3 for you.
Well, for the past 3 days up until this recording, I have not been going to the gym because I pulled something in my back, like the old weak ass that I am. And I've been hobbling around like a tortoise, in terms of pace from one room to the other. And I've been doing so much stretching. So many stretches. I've got foam rollers. I've got weird little rubber balls. I'm just jamming into my back. I got one of those Theraguns.
I can help you jam some balls in your back.
Yeah, I heard there was some dude offering that to you at the gym the other day. If you were
Thor
that story correctly.
and Mjolnir.
Yes.
I have never seen a hammer that large. My God. And it's like it was even shaped like Mjolnir, where it was like a pretty standard shaft, longer than expected, and then just like, whoa.
The hammer.
Don't look directly at it.
You would definitely be Thor after a night with that.
I would be Thor after a night with that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. You'd be really, really Thor.
Oh. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. So I felt pretty good about the gym. Honestly, I think the thing I'm noticing most is after we go to the gym, I seem to have a lot more energy throughout the day.
Which is good.
I'm more focused. I'm more alert. I need less food. Uncontrolled substances.
Uncontrolled.
I guess.
I've been noticing after going to the gym that I feel a lot better about myself. You're right. That little energy boost has got me going. We're waking up earlier. The energy's spiking up earlier, so I feel good. Whereas before, in my depressive state leading up to this podcast, I didn't feel like I was doing anything. Nothing positive for myself. I wasn't taking care of myself the way I knew I needed to be. And it feels really good. Combining that with most of my meal plan has actually got me to a place where I almost feel zen-like.
Mm-hmm.
It's something where I'm getting enough fiber now and I don't have these cravings. I'm not eating those sugary processed foods as much, so I don't have this pit in my stomach that is just gnawing away and teasing my brain saying like there should be something sugary in here, there should be something savory, like just keep eating, fill this void.
Yeah, we've eliminated all of the childhood cereal mascots that are just hounding our brain going, "You want my Lucky Charms?" I feel the same way. It's easy to go hours without eating. We're 3 months in. We're a quarter of the way through this. And there's something so nice about seeing the growth in 3 months and knowing that I can eat an apple halfway through my day and then I can drive all the way home from work and not even think about food. Get home and say like, do I need to eat dinner right now?
Yes, that's the big trigger. Because, I will walk through my paces, which is anytime I go through the kitchen, there is food all over. And I'll think, should I reach into that drawer, find myself something really tasty, really sweet? And I say, hey, brain, are we hungry right now? And brain will be like, hold on, let me check. Stomach, you good? Stomach will be like, I'm good. And brain says, no, we actually don't need to eat anything. There is a nice tub of water there for you called the sink. You could drink a cup of water. And I'm like, yeah, I think I've had enough water so far. But yeah, maybe I'll have a cup of water. And then I go continue on through the kitchen. It's something that I have really wanted to get back to because it's been many years since I felt like this.
Can we just reflect for a second? I think what I tried to explain in last week's episode was that for me, taking time to look at myself objectively and say, why am I feeling this way? Or what's going through my head when I'm in a heightened moment. I think it's also important to reflect on these spots. And so we've gone 3 months. I don't know if at the beginning of February, I would have looked at myself and said, all right, in 3 months, here's how I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel positive. I'm going to feel like I'm making progress. That person there is gone. That person in February doesn't exist anymore. There's some semblance, but I want to be hopeful for the next 3 months. So June, July, and August. And when we get to that fall season, am I going to look back and say the person that I was at the beginning of summer is very different than I am today?
My hope is that 3 months from now, we look at today, May us, or whenever you're listening to this, 3 months us, and at 6 months, we're like, that guy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're in full-fledged making ourselves better. We are a train running down the tracks, and there is no stopping.
We are making each other great again.
I like that. We should put that on a piece of clothing.
Like a hat?
Something that other people can see.
Yeah.
We should choose like a bright color. Like a really
like a pink.
noticeable color.
No. It's got to be like a foundational color.
It's light. It's got to be bold. And you know what? That'd be a great piece of merchandise to debut later on this year.
Oh my god!
Like sometime around
February, just a hat that says mega.
November. Let's try to debut it right before November.
What color does blue and red make? Does it make a purple?
Purple.
There's our new hat. All right, Scott. It's time. Let's go through our in-body results. I want to share a few things. My weight when we started this journey doesn't show up on this composition because the body composition history doesn't go far enough back. I started at 238 pounds. Heaviest I'd ever been, worst I'd ever felt. I'm at 227 and a half.
You should insert some applause.
Just a single hand clapping. Got it. That's 11 pounds, though. That feels so good. I'm so proud of myself. 11 pounds is tough. And for it to stay off, I think is important that I've maintained this.
You've constantly lost a little bit over time. I, on the other hand, started out at 209. And now, as we currently stand, I am at 206.
That's progress.
How many pounds have I actually lost? 6 pounds after gaining 3 pounds?
Well, if you do the real math, you gained 3, and then you lost that 3, and then you went from 9. So 3, you've lost 14 pounds.
Sure, let's just go with that. Yep.
Yes.
So I'm doing great.
That's good.
I've lost 3 pounds, Willie. That's how much. Since the beginning, I've lost 3 pounds. That's a pound a month. Yes. Would I like it to be a pound a week? Sure. But here we are. Negative after the course. That was the plan.
We looked at our current body fat percent.
Hang on.
How do we get to a place where we're at what would be considered a healthy BMI or a healthy body fat percentage,
Body fat percentage? Right.
And so
when we started, what were you at? Ish. Go back as far as you can.
About 40.
I was 35 and a half.
Okay. What are you at now, buddy?
After some weird results, I am now at 34.
I'm at 38. And so I've gone down 2%.
I am a 0.5% away from being down 2%.
And so
like I'm at 33.8, which I count 34.
This is all about body recomposition. And so in my case, right, if my body fat percent goes down 2%, 2% of 200 means 4 pounds.
Sure. I trust your math.
Or I guess it means like the percent of my body fat at the beginning was 40%. And I dropped it down to 38%. Oh, God, that's a way harder math problem. Nope, don't quote me on any of this. We need to get ourselves to a place where we're at 20%.
At least. Let's just keep going. It's going down. Mm-hmm. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. We'll let the math itself out. What about BMI? What was your BMI start-ish?
How dare you? How dare you ask me this question?
While Willy's digging that up, I'm going to start. I was at 30.9. Remember, I gained some weight, so it went up, and it has come back down. So now I'm at 30.4, which is still high, but it's going down. And that's the results that I am looking for.
I am down to 32.6.
That's huge.
That feels really nice. The problem is that in order for us to hit that healthy spot for BMI, we need to be at a 25.
Can we go to the muscle fat analysis? These are the truths. This looks like a Christmas themed detailed report because of all the red and green. Mine goes red, green, red, red, green, red.
Where are you seeing this?
In the detail report, muscle fat analysis.
Oh, I didn't go further down. Thank God I didn't go down. You tell me, what are you seeing, Scott? I didn't take a screenshot of that, thank God.
Okay, in this amazing InBody app, which for people who have the opportunity, like download it on your phone, it's in whatever store you have. Mm-hmm. You have to go to a machine to take it. So I believe on the website it'll say like where there is a machine nearby. The categories are below average, average, and above average. So a little surprisingly is average is like 2 ticks on this bar, but it's not in the middle. It's a little bit to the left.
Okay.
Below average is 2.5 ticks on this bar, and it's on the very far left. On the right is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 ticks. That's the above average section. Now, I'm assuming that a lot of people start using this app when they are in the above average section and they work their way towards the left.
Right.
My weight being at 206 shows that I've lost 3.4 pounds total. I am a tick and a half in the above average section. My skeletal muscle mass, which has dropped 0.4 pounds, is just kissing the above average. Like it's at the average line, but just falling in the...
What is your skeletal muscle mass in pounds?
78.5. So my total weight, I'm 78.5 pounds of muscle, and I am, drumroll, 69.6 pounds of body fat.
Cool.
This has given me a rating of above average, morbidly obese.
Is that the big letter C
right now? Yeah.
Got it. So
yes.
I'm also at the big old letter C. I just know that because I've seen it. And so I want to share a few things. My skeletal muscle mass is 80 pounds, 80.2 to be specific. I think it's strange that I'm only 2 pounds heavier than you in muscle mass.
1.5 pounds.
Yeah. Isn't that strange? Because I can lift more than you, but I don't think that's a direct reflection of weight.
Nah, something's off.
Of maybe it's not a direct reflection of like capability.
Yeah.
Like maybe that really buff dude with all the, 2 sets of abs, that guy that was doing the thing today with a little medicine ball between his legs, that guy,
sure.
Maybe he weighs less in skeletal muscle mass and he's just ripped AF.
And there's a lot of people out there too who look very thin but aren't strong.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if I gain 1.5 pounds of muscle, I'm going to be as strong as you. That's going to be a driver for me.
Well, what did you say your body fat mass was in pounds?
Oh, 69.
Nice. Mine is 87.
It's okay.
So what, 12 pounds to get to your level just in body fat.
Which, by the way, is above average.
My basal metabolic rate, the amount of calories I currently need to just survive, is 1750.
Mine is 1706.
That's pretty damn close. And so we both need to make sure that we're consuming minimum that amount of calories.
Otherwise, what's going to happen?
Poor health?
Are we going to lose muscle mass?
We could, I think.
That's why it's so important to write down what we're eating.
Which we're going to talk about that here in a second. When I look at the visceral fat level, this is the benefit of this like in-body app, is that it'll give you an analysis of like, are you just holding on to weight, say like in your arms or in your legs, places where while it is unhealthy in terms of the science, visceral fat, this app is going to tell us the fat that surrounds our organs, which you need some, but if you have an overabundance, it could lead to pulmonary disease, heart failure, diabetes, bad things. These are the things that could lead to like dying early.
Just random death. Or not random.
Nope, one cheesecake at a time, closer to death. Scott, what is your visceral fat level? And mind you, 10 is where you should be.
Of everything, but really only like 2 months of in-gym food focus. I'm at 14.
That's progress. I'm fairly certain that this visceral fat level stops at 20.
What do you mean?
I think it's on a scale. I am now at 19.
There you go. Yes.
Which is down from dead. Why do we do this? Why are we doing this?
You were literally walking cancer. And now you have a chance. There's a small like little crack in the shielding, and like you're going to break through, Willy. The next 3 months you'll be down to 15. That's my prediction.
Okay. By next quarter, I'm going to be down 4 levels.
3 months from now when we check our fiscal results.
It's just going to start with Scott, just you on the screen. Well, guys, Willy made it to 15. Unfortunately, he died.
But hey, now he's lost all of that weight. All the weight he ever wanted. And I think he only weighs like 7 grams.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so we then decided in this app we were gonna try to create like a nutrition guide based on our goals, which I think you and I had similar goals of like, here's how our lifestyle works: 3 to 5 workouts a week, moderate activity, lighter workouts. And then we said our goal, for me at least, is to lose 1 pound a week during this eating challenge.
That's good.
That's
good. I think I only chose to lose 6 more pounds.
Total?
That's what I wanted.
Oh, so you
Total.
actually chose to lose more weight over this 4-week period.
I want to lose 2 more pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, per meal, it says I need 75 grams of carbs, 42 grams of protein, and 17 grams of fats.
I need 81 grams of carbs, 45 grams of protein, and 18 grams of fat, which looks a lot different than my Lose It I believe. I'm going to double check those results because this is something I really wanted to make sure that we were hitting.
I can tell you, as I look at my lose it goals, I'm looking to eat about 200 grams of protein a day.
Well, here's what we need to do then. After we fix our bodies here, maybe we should go see a nutritionist, an actual doctor who's, done their research and has a background in this and can show us like, well, you've been doing this. Mm-hmm. Your blood work says stop or keep going, and we'll get some actual answers.
Do you want to be the one to try and figure this out, or do you want me to do it?
I will definitely do it. I'm eating way too many carbs, according to Lose It.
Yeah, I think so. This nutrition guide gave some like serving size ideas for us. And I want to go through something really quick here. So when we were planning what we were going to eat for our meals, you said eggs. In order for me to get 42 grams of protein, just eating eggs.
Which I don't recommend.
No. I would have to eat roughly 7 eggs per meal.
How many did Gaston eat when he was a boy?
Oh my God.
5 dozen? 5 dozen eggs? But he got large, Willy. Or maybe it was 3 dozen. 3 to 5? Anyway, he ate way more than an average person should, which is why he's a villain.
60 eggs a day. Over the course of 12 years, that's 262,980 eggs. Has got some stamina.
He looked like Thor.
Now, the other thing I could do is I could eat 200 grams of beef rump.
I know you're acting like all the Gen Zers. You do like to eat that rump.
Do you know how much 200 grams of beef is?
I'm going to do my bad math here. Is that 4 pounds?
That's about half a pound.
Oh. Oh. So little.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some steaks for dinner tonight.
Yeah?
I might have to cut them in half.
So just keep this in mind. There's roughly 450 grams per pound. And I think that will help us when we look at some of these serving sizes here. Is there anything as far as like this nutrition guide that stood out to you as feasible or easier than you were thinking?
The numbers that I'm getting from this nutrition guide versus Lose It make me feel a lot better about myself. They make me feel that this is attainable, and I will probably lose weight a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
As long as I'm not eating. The last meal, or the very first meal when I was planning out everything, Willy, 44 grams of fat. 194 grams of carbs. And 113 grams of protein.
Do you think it needs to go up from there?
No, that's the super high.
Oh.
Compare that. 113 grams of protein versus 45. That's what InBody said.
Yeah. Man, it is really strange to me. I don't know how this works. I don't know how this math works. It says, what if you want to consume 42 grams of protein? In order to get 42 grams of protein, I need to eat 340 grams of eggs? What's the other 300 grams? This doesn't make any sense. Chicken breast. I would have to eat essentially 2 servings, which is 185 grams of chicken breast, to get 42 grams of protein. What's happening with the rest of it?
Well, if you eat 2 pieces of chicken, like 2 whole chicken breasts, which is a lot, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know people who are eating more than 1. You're done with your protein for the rest of the day. Just forget about it. Focus on your carbs. Focus on your fats.
But that's not true. I want to be able to consume 200 grams of protein.
I saw a dietitian who was like, please, for the love of God, do not eat your body weight in grams of protein anymore. It's not sustainable.
You don't know.
That's why that 90 grams seems more reasonable. And that's twice the amount of protein that InBody is saying I should be having.
Okay.
Everybody's different, though. Everybody's body is so different. So, like, this doesn't really know us. This doesn't have any sort of blood work. It's just going off of our thumbs. Think about that. Our thumbs and our heels, our feet, have designed this for us. Off of one little machine that costs $15,000, so it's bound to be good for something, right?
Oh, hey, look at this. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA.
What do they know?
They have a portion size breakdown.
Send me that link.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you right now. This is a real-time math problem for me and Scott. Scott, if I eat 100 grams of chicken breast, which is roughly like... How big is a chicken breast?
Half a pound.
How many grams in chicken? 174. Okay, so let's go to 100 and what is a portion?
What if you sent me?
Okay, 1 cup chopped or diced. This is specifically chicken, broiled or fried, breast, meat only, cooked or roasted. There's 94 grams of water.
Okay.
There's 231 kilocalories, energy, 43 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, magnesium, iron, phosphorus, potassium, sodium. And so I think what I'm reading is the majority of that is probably water.
I don't like this.
Why?
I feel this is where the government has failed us. Thanks, Obama. Because it says 43.4 grams of protein in this cup of chicken. But that was last tested in 1979.
Ugh. They got the math right back then, right? They knew how to split the atom.
Do you know how much... Do you know how many different ways they've manipulated chickens since 1979? There's so fewer regulations.
Big Monsanto is making sure that the USDA does not change this result.
I don't know if you've been to any farms recently, Willie, but those chickens aren't rocking A cups anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know who has a bigger chest right now, The Rock or the chickens that we're eating.
Dude, the chickens for sure. I mean, because the thing is theirs are pure meat and...
Are they?
And hormones, whereas The Rock doesn't make any hormone.
He's all about chickpeas.
What are some other things that we wanted to talk about this episode?
It's super important, especially because we are focusing and we're talking a lot about protein to stay hydrated. We are H2O hydro homies. Is that right?
We're hydro homies, yeah.
It's hydro homies. You were that thing before it became hydro homies because you've been on Reddit longer than I am. You remember what it was called. You were part of that group. You want to tell the world what it was called before it was hydro homies?
Hydro hookers?
Yeah, we'll go with that. If you put into Google what was it before it was hydro homies, search What does it say, Willie?
I'm looking.
What does it say?
Oh. Up. Hydro Homie's got a rebrand. I didn't know that was a thing.
Were you in or were you out?
I'm not in that group. I'm not allowed. Woof. Moving.
Willie was
on.
not invited to the cookout.
Martha
all right.
Stewart is allowed. I'm very thirsty right now.
So why don't we go get a drink?
Let's do it.
Let's leave our listeners with this message. This week, keep going. You can do this. Willie and I have taken 3 months to get to where we are at a point of loss, where we are living in Loserville, USA, and we're very happy.
And it helps to have an accountability buddy.
And we can be your loser friends if you want. You can reach out to us. We can be your accountability buddy. So thanks for listening, and tune in next week where we'll see you
In health.